Hi everyone, it's Xander back with another short video about HR. This one is about HR as opposed to leadership, and it's going to be a bit of a rant. Sorry about that. Hello from my car in the gym car park. Don't know why. Maybe you find this as well, but when I go to the gym or I'm going to the gym, it gets me in a very contemplative, reflective mood, and then I think about these things I want to share with you. So that's why they tend to be from this location. Anyway, I want to talk about recruitment. And I'm well aware that recruitment is something that I've touched on before. And my goodness, I am going to be touching on this quite a lot, because recruitment is, without doubt, fundamentally the most broken part of the HR ecosystem. There's so much to get into about how terrible and corporate and wrong and fake it's all become. And I was thinking today specifically about those who are gifted and talented, people who have this kind of X factor, or they excel in one particular area, one particular behavior. So we all come across people from time to time who are just, say, brilliant relationship builders. They just have that kind of gift of the gab. And there are, of course, lots of other skills where people can truly excel and go way beyond that. Often what we find with gifted and talented people, though, is that this is somewhat at the expense of other things. They may do other things quite well, but gifted and talented people tend not to be super amazing all-rounders. There are super amazing all-rounders out there. But when we have someone who really excels in one particular thing, one really valuable thing, they might not be so great in other areas. And psychologists call this an allowable weakness. Anyway, the interview process and the selection process has really come down to this sort of checklist of competencies that we score people on. And if it wasn't bad enough that we're asking these competency-based questions where we say, tell us about a time where you've made a mistake at work, or tell me about a time where you've influenced somebody at work, or something like this. These incredibly kind of like fake situational questions that we in turn answer in incredibly fake constructed STAR method ways. That just ticks off the basics of the job description. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that, but we're not giving people who are exceptionally talented or gifted any channel or platform to really tell us about what they can do and show us what they can do. And sometimes there's something about a hire or a candidate that is going to bring amazing value to the team or to the company that might not really fall within the strict scope of your job description or your competency framework, because it's that little extra special bit of magic. And of course, when we talk about job descriptions and we talk about competency frameworks and the interview assessment criteria, that's assuming that you're doing that right in the first place. And let me tell you, people get it so wrong. Like, I don't think I've seen a good, well-written job description for quite some time now anywhere. Anyway, this got me thinking, wouldn't it be amazing if actually all we did in a job interview was say, tell us about what you're really good at? Like, just one question for your interview, and just say, tell us about the things that you're good at work. Tell us about the things that you love at work, rather than trying to get people to jump through these hoops and tick these off. Now, that might be a little bit radical for you. So a first step towards that would be to have as a final question, and this is a final question, I'm not going to say I always do it, but I like to think I do it 90% of the time. Final question that I put into my interview questions when I'm on a panel is, we've asked you loads of questions and talked about lots of different aspects of the job and your background. Is there anything that you would really like to talk about that we haven't covered? Is there anything that you'd like to let us know? Anything that you would like to go into? Or is there anything that you've done at work recently that hasn't fallen into one of our questions that you were really proud of, so that you're giving people that platform to say, actually, one of the things that I really love is X, Y, and Z, or that colleagues or the business where I work at right now really appreciates is this. And it gives them that opportunity to tell you about their magic, because your magic's not on your clipboard. Your magic is not like on your predetermined list of questions that you ask everybody the same thing for standardization purposes and comparison purposes. You're giving that person the opportunity to go completely off-road, and you never know what they want to talk to you about might be something that could be absolutely game-changing that you had not considered that your team needed. But when you hear them talk about it and they tell you about it and they demonstrate it and they evidence it through your follow-up questions, it could be something really special. So if you're not ready to ditch all of those really fake questions about just ticking job description criteria off, which frankly you could do just with a CV, if you're not ready to do that, at least ask that final question of, is there anything else that you really love to do at work that we've not talked about, or anything that you think you're really great at work that we haven't talked about? And just see what happens. Anyway, that's enough of my strong opinions for the day. In the meantime, if there's anything that I can help you with when it comes to your people problems, don't hesitate to get in touch via my website or on LinkedIn. And I want you to continue to take care of yourselves and each other. Bye for now.